So, welcome everybody to the Mindfulness-based stress reduction half-day retreat. It's going to run from 9 to noon Eastern Standard Time. And how I'd like to cross the threshold into our next 3 hours is to practice a stop. So, I'd like you to get yourself comfortable and come into a position where the spine is tall. Your eyes can be open or closed. And I'm going to invite you to do a stop here, which means let's take a few deep, intentional breaths together. So just taking your first in-breath in. Maybe pause at the top just a moment. And then slowly exhale. And take your own next breath in your own rhythm. So breathing in. Slight pause at the top. And slowly exhale it out. And let's do one more breath. And exhaling it out. And then just let your breath return to a natural breath. And simply notice what's here for you right now. Are there any thoughts traveling through the mind? Are there any emotions that are up for you right now? What are the body sensations that are most prevalent in your awareness? And just being present with that curiousness, with that friendliness, this experiment in understanding ourselves better. And then let's form an intention to support ourselves this morning with kindness, with care. And then if your eyes were closed, you can open them. And so I want to welcome everybody here who's joined us for the half-day retreat. So all of us have things, myself and Laura included, that we might otherwise be doing this morning. And yet, we've all chosen to take this precious time and to be here together, befriending our own minds and our own bodies as we practice paying attention from moment to moment during this half day. We've made the choice not to run around doing the usual errands and crazy busyness and dropping kids off here, there, anything that we normally do on a Saturday morning. So instead, what are we doing this morning? We're going to be practicing noble silence. That means no talking, No eye contact, which is pretty easy on Zoom. It's harder when we're in a live group, but no eye contact. No reading, no writing, no speaking on our phones unless it's absolutely necessary. And then, of course, do that. So, what these practices are going to support us in doing is they're going to allow us to go more deeply into our meditation practice and to conserve our energy for the practice of mindfulness. So, in these 3 hours of supposed non doing, different feelings may come up. And whatever arises during this morning is the actual curriculum because it's already here and it is what has arisen for you in this moment. And therefore, it's what we get to work with. So, while many of us, the half day retreat is a really enjoyable, relaxing, peaceful experience. Some people may be experiencing moments of peacefulness, moments of relaxation, but it's interspersed with other experiences that perhaps might be less enjoyable. And so for some of us, physical pain may come up for extended stretches, and so can emotional pain and agitation or discomfort in the form of anxiety, boredom, guilt for not being somewhere else, etc. So consider this morning a true opportunity to simply watch whatever comes up and to simply accept our feelings and our experiences of this moment. We can really practice being with things as they are. This is mindfulness. And we can also practice being calm. We can practice putting out the welcome mat for whatever arises. So above all, encourage you to practice kindness for yourself. So if there are moments this morning when you feel overwhelmed by any of the practices, you can write in the chat to Laura. Laura's video will be off, but she is present. And if you need to be in contact with either one of us, she will notify me. So if you decide you have to leave for whatever reason, that's okay. But please let us know. And you're always welcome to come back to the call, to the half-day retreat, if you feel that's appropriate. So let's begin our practices with a movement practice. So I am going to be introducing a couple new movements on the floor in today's practice. So a quick, just sort of a refresher of our intention in our movement practice. And so what we're doing in our movement practice is we're giving ourselves a chance to enter more deeply into the life of the body. And when we talk about the life of the body, we're including the concept of the mind. And the mind isn't necessarily here, although that's often where we think of it. The mind is in the body. So our practice is an opportunity to experience the mind and the body as one in our movement practice. And as with all our practices, we get to pay attention to the sensations that arise, the thoughts and the emotions that arise from moment to moment in a kind and friendly way. So use the knowledge of your own body and its limits to guide you, especially in the new movements I'll be introducing today on the floor. And to remember to not force any movement, but rather relax into a movement. And for some of us, some of the movements we will choose not to do and simply observe, just visualizing the movement, visualizing ourselves doing the movement. Okay, from the mindful movement, we're going to go straight into a body scan. So you may want to set yourself up after we're going to finish lying on the floor. So if you want to continue to do the body scan on the floor, that's fine, but you may want to set yourself up with any props you might need as well. So let's begin by coming to standing. We'll start in standing. So let's begin in our standing position with the feet hip width apart, hips over heels, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. And just like we did in the stop practice, let's once again center ourselves and connect the body by using the link or the bridge of our breathing. So let's do 3 intentional breaths here, mindful breaths. So invite the breath in to the rib cage, let it expand front, side, and back. And then just empty and let it go on the exhale. And again, breathing in. Front, side, and back, really filling up with the breath. And then exhale, empty the breath, slow and sustained. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Let's begin to warm up the shoulders. So rolling the shoulders back and up, forward and down. See if you can tune into the sensations as you slow it down and feel the movement. Maybe I hear a few clicks, feel a few clicks in my own body. And when you've done 3 in one direction, you can go in the other. Just slowing it down enough that you can really feel the sensations of movement. Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Learning to hold the sensations. And then from here, with the feet hip width apart, let's point the thumbs forward and slowly begin to travel the arms forward and up, pausing wherever it feels appropriate for you to pause along the journey. Gently squeeze the buttocks, tone the legs, and then exhale, float those arms back down, feeling the sensations of the air on your skin. And again, mindfully traveling those arms up. Engage the buttocks, feel the firmness in the rib midriff, the engagement of the legs, the rootedness into the floor, and exhale, travel the arms back down. And one more time, inhale up. And if you care to, we're going to stay a little bit longer here. So legs engaged, buttocks engaged. If the arms are forward, that's fine, wherever they're comfortable to be. If they're overhead, reaching the fingertips to the sky. With the ears over shoulders, you may be able to lift your gaze towards the fingertips. And breathing here. Notice the intensity of the sensations. Where are the sensations? Are there emotions? And then slowly traveling the arms back down alongside the body. Pause for a moment. Rolling the shoulders forward and up, and then just bring the shoulders back a bit so you can feel a gentle squeezing between the shoulder blades. If you can stay there, let the arms stretch out to the sides and face your palms forward towards the screen. and stretch your fingers, squeeze the buttocks. And if this feels okay to you, you could either travel the arms forward and up, or this time you can travel the arms out to the sides and up. And again, honor any limits in your body, respecting them. If the arms are up and overhead, press down a little bit more into the left foot as the arms reach up. The arms can also remain alongside the body for this one. And then just slightly arc to the right. Breathing here, seeing if the ears can remain between the arms. If the arms are overhead, gaze is forward, and breathing. Feeling the intensity of the sensations, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Respecting your limits, coming out if you need to. And then slowly travel the arms up, firmly pressing down into the earth. Arms reach overhead if they're up. And then rooting a little bit more into the right foot and arcing slightly to the left. Breathing here. Feeling the sensations of the breath moving in the body. Notice if any other sensations are arriving in the body. Letting your breath and body sensations be a barometer for how long you choose to stay. Slowly coming back up. And either floating the arms forward and down or to the sides and down. Just present in the sensations as the arms slowly travel back down. Pause for a moment. Tune into the sensations created by the movement with friendliness, with curiosity. Then we're going to move into the squatting or chair pose. So I'll give you a side view of me. My feet are hip width apart. My torso is upright. And as I reach my buttocks back as if I was sitting in an imaginary chair, the arms can come forward. The knees remain tracking over the feet. And then slowly come back up. And again, inhale, honoring the sensations in your body. And exhale, coming back up, pausing at the top to observe the sensations created by the movement. Again, coming down, I personally inhale down and exhale as I travel back up. And if you care to, you can stay here and even bring your arms wide, holding the movement, feeling the intensity. You may have chosen to come out of the movement. And then slowly bring the hands back down and slowly come back to standing, attending to the sensations, noticing your heart rate, noticing your breathing. Okay. For this next movement, you can be beside a chair for support or perhaps against a wall. We're coming into the lunge movement where we're stepping the right foot back. The feet are hip width apart. And here we inhale and slowly exhale back up. So inhaling down and slowly exhaling back up. What this looks like from the side. Inhaling down. Exhale back up. And this last movement, we can stay down and breathing. And slowly come back up. Pause. Receive. And if you care to, stepping back with the left foot. And you're on the ball of the back foot. Torso is upright. And again, both knees bend simultaneously. And slowly exhale back up. Inhale down is my breathing pattern, and exhaling back up. Noticing the sensations throughout the movement. And if you care to, you can stay down and just be with the movement here, noticing any changes in sensation, in intensity, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, respecting the limits of your body, and slowly coming back up and stepping the feet together. Okay, from here, if you wanted to use the seat of the chair just to support you here, you can, or you can keep your hands on your thighs. So for this movement, we start in the upright position called the mountain pose in yoga, proper standing alignment in the physio world. And then from here, the hands just glide down, and the only thing that's changing is the hinge at the hips. The spine is staying in its neutral curves, and the bum is reaching back. The head's remaining with ears aligning over shoulders, gazes to the floor. And you can make little fists with the hands here, and then just gently draw the fists to your hip sockets and squeeze your elbows together. And then slowly bring the hands back down and ground into your feet to come back up. So with this movement, the bum is trying to touch the wall behind you. So as you hinge at the hips, the bum reaches back, trying to touch the wall. Make a gentle fist with the hands. Bring the fists up towards your hip sockets and then squeeze your elbows together. And then bring the hands back down, ground into the feet, and come back up. Respecting any limits in your body. You can always visualize a pose. So reaching back. So we're avoiding the rounding of the spine by reaching the bum back, keeping the chest lifted, making a fist with the hand, bringing the hands up towards your hips, squeeze your elbows behind you. And then bring those hands back down, ground into your heels to come back up. Pause for a moment at the top of the movement. Notice any sensations, heart rate, temperature, tingling, painful sensations, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Simply present to what is arising in this moment. It's truly an experiment to come to know ourselves better. As we turn our toes out slightly, our knees out slightly, ears aligning over shoulders, turning the palms to face outwards. So you could keep your arms down or again, travel them out to the sides and up. Palms face forward here, and you bend at your elbows. You bend at the knees opening like a book. And again, those elbows drawing back, feeling the squeeze in your upper back. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming down, squeezing. And slowly coming back up. And again, exhale down. Squeeze, opening the knees, opening the elbows, and slowly come back up. And last one, if you care to. So we exhale down. Now, if you want to stay down, you can stretch your arms out. And from your right shoulder, turn your thumb up. From your left shoulder, turn your left thumb down. And switch. 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 Feel the intensity. And then bring the hands down. Slowly straighten up. Walk your feet together. And simply observe. Noticing what's arising in this moment. Okay. So coming down onto the mat now. So here, we're going to just reach the heart forward into cat-cow and exhale, round the spine. Inhale, extend the heart forward, rooting down into the hands. If you're dealing with wrist issues, you may want to come up on your knuckles here or simply avoid this movement altogether. Inhale and exhale. Couple more. And last one. And then you can just take the weight off your wrists for a moment and either bring the buttocks back towards the heels or just allow yourself to stack fists and rest your forehead here with the bum up in the air, if that works for you. I'm just going to my shirt on here. Okay, so from here, we're going to extend the right leg back and just tone the belly here so the spine stays still. As you take that right leg up, toe points down towards the ground and the leg goes no higher than your hip. And if you care to, shift the weight into the right hand, extend the opposite or left arm forward. The hand can extend or you can make a gentle fist here. Gaze is down at the mat. Ear, if you can, is alongside the shoulder as you stay here, being with the dance, the balance, the shift, coming in and out of the pose as feels right for you. Breathing. And then slowly bring hand and knee down. We're going to do the opposite leg. So taking that left leg back, toe tuck under, really bracing or toning the abdomen to hold the spine in its neutral curves, just like a table. And then that left leg can come up with the toe pointing straight down. Leg is no higher than the hip. Again, you're keeping the spine very still with your abdominal muscles. And if you care to, taking your left arm forward and make a fist, if you care to, arm alongside ear and breathing. Being with the dance, coming in and out of the pose as you need to, honoring your own body, honoring where you're at today, your energy levels, just being with the reality of the present moment as it is. And from here, you can just come down on the elbows again, maybe stack the fists, keeping the bum up in the air, or you can, if there's more flexibility in your hip and your knee, you can bring the buttocks back closer towards the heels. and rest there. Either position is fine. Just tuning into the awareness of the body and the mind and what's arising for you in this moment. And then from here, we're going to transition to lie on the back. For this next movement, you may want to have support underneath the head, a cushion or a blanket, folded blanket. This is a new movement. And so as we were bracing in the table position and in the bird dog, we're going to also brace our abdominals here. So coming to lie on your back with the knees bent. If you're not sure, just take a look at the screen and see what it is that I'm doing. So what I'm doing here is I'm toning my abdominal muscles to keep my spine from moving. I don't want my spine to be arching or my pelvis to be wobbling around. So I'm holding my abdominal muscles in a toned way. And in this position, holding the tone in my abdominals, I'm going to see if I can just lift my right knee up. So my right knee aligns over hip crease and my heel is in the same line as my right knee. And I'm not allowing my spine to move because I'm holding my abdominal muscles steady here. And I'm going to just breathe and then slowly lower back down. And again, I'm going to tone my abdominal muscles and do the same thing with my left foot. So my left knee is now over my left hip crease and my heel is in line with my left knee. And I'm not allowing my back to arch here as I breathe. Just feeling the abdominals working and then slowly come back down. I just see somebody just trying to come back into the class, so I'm just going to admit them. Okay, so from here, you can play with bringing your right knee up, and then without allowing the spine to move, you can just bring the right foot down and bring it back up again. 1, holding the abdominal steady, just lower that right heel down, tap, and come back up. 2, 3, staying on the right. 4, and if you care to, 5, and then lowering that foot down. Walk your feet just slightly wider than your knees and just let your knees just swing a little side to side, just to release that. And then bringing your feet back into hip width apart. Let's try the other side. So again, we want that toning so our spine doesn't move around. We're just going to now lift that left knee up. Arms can be alongside your body. And in this position, holding the tone so your spine doesn't move, you just bring that left heel down and tap and come back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you bring that foot down, walk your feet just a little bit wider, and just release your hips and your pelvis side to side. And then we have the option for one more movement here. We hold the tone. You could continue to practice with one leg at a time if that is interesting for you. Or you could bring your right knee up and hold the tone and see if you can bring the left knee up without moving your spine. And we're going to just hold here. And if you wanted to, you could stretch your arms up. And we're just simply going to hold here, feeling the engagement in the abdominals. Breathing, respecting limits. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering down the arms and then one leg at a time. Slowly lower down one leg and the other. Walk your feet a little bit wider. Windshield wiper. And here's the next new movement. With your feet hip width apart, we're going to slowly roll to lie on our left side. You can double up a blanket or put a block under your head or double up your cushion so that the head is supported and the head and the neck have room for the shoulder here. So the knees are bent. There's a 90-degree angle behind my knee, and my heels are directly underneath my knees. So from this kind of view, it looks like this. Okay, so just have your knees up and heels directly underneath your knees. Your hips are vertically stacked, one on top of the other. And again, feel that toning in the abdominal area. Just find a place where your arms can rest comfortably, because we'll be working on the lower body here. So holding your abdominals firm, you're just going to lift the upper leg off the lower leg so that the knee is in the same line as the ankle and the knee is in the same line as the hip, and slowly back down. It's like a clamshell opening up here. So just inhale up. Notice I'm not lifting really high, just slightly higher than the hip. And exhale, come back down. 2, 3, 4. Feel the sensations, respecting any limits. And 5. Now, if you care to, we're going to explore a little deeper into this area, the muscles of your hip. So curious and friendly here. We're going to inhale up and just stay in that upper position. But in that position, the knee turns down slightly, the heel up. And then we switch. The knee is up, heel down. All the while staying in that up position. 2. Feel the sensation in your hip. Honor any limits. 3, 4. Notice if intensity is increasing. And 5. Bring that knee back down. Rest. Friendly and curious. And then from there, we're going to extend the upper or right leg straight so it's in line down from the spine. And the big toe can touch the floor here. I'll just move up so you can see my foot. And from this position, it looks like this. Okay. So in this position with the leg extending straight down from your spine, big toe touching the ground of the upper leg, hold your brace and lift the leg up just slightly higher than your hip and just pull that right heel back 2 inches till you feel sensations in that buttock, and come back down. 1. Come up again, heel in line with leg and spine, and then pull the heel back 2 inches, sensation. Come back down, tap. 3, 4, and 5. Pause. Observe. We're going to roll onto the right side, so I'm just going to shift so you can see me. You might just be rolling over to your right side. Make sure you've got good support underneath your head and neck. Knees at 90, the hip is 90 degrees to the torso. Back of knees is 90 degrees to the heel. Hold your torso engaged. Lift the upper leg off the lower leg slightly higher than the hip, like a clamshell. Exhale, come back down. 1. See, make sure that the head is in alignment with the rest of the spine. We tend to let the head drop forward as if we were lying in bed, but we want the head in good alignment, just like we are in standing. 2, 3. Hold your tone in your abdominals. 4, as best you can. And again, this movement may not be for you today, and that's fine. and 4. And now we're going to lift that leg up, knee down, heel up, knee up, heel down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bringing the knee down. Just rest for a moment, observing sensations, kind and supportive to ourselves, exploring new movements just to our own limits, holding the tone, extending that upper leg in line with the spine, big toe touching the floor perhaps, and then bringing that leg just straight up and then pulling the heel back 2 inches. 1, come back down, tap, come up and back. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back down, rest. And from this position, if you care to, we're going to come onto the belly. And you can rest, stack your fists, stack your hands, palm one on top of the other. Rest your forehead on the backs of your hands, and perhaps take your glasses off here. And we're going to just extend the right leg back. So just lift the leg up slightly and extend it back, lower down. Same thing, lift left leg up, extend it back, lower down. And then just squeeze your bum here. Keep squeezing the bum and just lift your right leg slightly off the floor. Bum is still squeezing, and lower back down. And we're going to stay on the right and just slightly lift that right leg off the floor. The work is in the buttocks. And back down. 2, 3, we're staying on the right, just barely lifting off the floor, if at all. 4, and 5. You can just bend your knees and just let your heels slightly sway from side to side. And then bringing the legs back down and gently squeezing the buttocks. See if you can lift that left leg slightly off the ground and back down. 1, 2, 3. Keep squeezing the buttocks all the way through the movement. 4, and 5. And again, you can bend those knees and just release slightly side to side. And then from here, you could, just so that your nose has a little bit of space, you could take your blanket and just put the forehead on the edge of the blanket so the nose has a bit of room between you and the mat. And again, we're going to stabilize the lower body. We're going to gently squeeze the legs and gently squeeze the bum. And if you care to, with your gaze remaining down at the mat, can you lift the head, the shoulders, and the arms, squeezing the shoulder blades together and stretching your fingertips back for a count of 5. Gaze is down at the mat. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back down. Rest. And if you care to, we're going to do that one more time. If you're choosing to respect your limits, good for you. So squeezing the buttocks, gazes down at the mat, head lifts, shoulder lifts, arms lift, fingers extend back and hold. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, squeeze your bum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back down. You can move the blanket, stack your hands, rest your forehead on your hands, bend your knees, and let your heels windshield wiper from side to side. And then lowering your feet down ever so gently, pressing yourself back, perhaps coming to a variation of the child position that works for you. Find your breath. Feel the movement of the breath as it flows in and out of the body. And then slowly come to lie on your back, perhaps with support underneath the head. Knees bent, feet hip width apart. Gently drawing your right knee towards the chest, interlacing the hands behind the leg. And here, if you care to, just slowly stretch that right leg up. The knee does not have to completely straighten. Can't see my foot here, but I'm pointing my toes to the ceiling and then flexing at the ankle, drawing the toes down towards my eyes. So pointing and flexing, pointing and flexing and circling a few times in each direction. Drawing your right knee into the chest, lowering your right foot to the floor, and bringing the left knee into the chest, hands behind the knee, slowly extending the leg up, pointing the toe to the sky, and flexing at the ankle, toes point down towards the eyes, pointing and flexing, pointing and flexing. And then lowering both feet, arms at a T position. Walk your feet a little bit wider. You could either do that little windshield wiper, or if you care to, you can bring both knees to the right, allowing the left hip to come off the floor, perhaps placing support underneath the outside of your right knee. And just being with the breath here. Belly rises as you breathe in, falls as you breathe out, rising, falling, engage the abdominals, slowly bring the knees up, realigning your feet and your pelvis. And when you feel ready, if you feel ready, you could take the knees to the left, allowing the right hip to gently lift off the floor. Belly rising, falling, rising, falling, rising, falling. And slowly exhaling, coming back to center. And if you care to, draw first one knee, then the other towards your chest and make little circles on the ceiling in both directions. And then slowly lowering first one foot, then the other. And if you care to, you can keep your knees bent, or you can extend your legs out, or you can place some support under your knees as we transition now into the body scan. So get yourself comfortable. So once you feel settled and comfortable, arms alongside the body, knees supported, make sure you're warm enough. Remembering that the body scan is always an invitation to become more aware, to fall awake rather than to fall asleep to what's arising in the moment. So just see if you can allow this transition from movement into rest to be a nourishing time where you can simply rest with an open mind and heart, bringing those attitudes of friendliness and curiosity and a beginner's mind to the body scan, even if unpleasant thoughts, feelings, and emotions arise, stay a while, and then pass away. Remember, it is especially important to put out the welcome mat if the unpleasant experiences arise with open-hearted and non-reactive attending. Just seeing if you can practice letting go of those judgmental and critical thoughts in particular as best you can. Simply feeling what you're already feeling, accepting this, and knowing it's okay. Bring your awareness now to the whole body breathing, feeling the breath as it travels into the body and back out again. Remembering that as long as you're breathing, and this is the truth, as long as you're breathing, there is more right with you than wrong with you. No matter what the condition of your body and its history, and no matter what you are facing in this moment. Notice the touch of the breath as it travels into and out of the body. And where is that breath most apparent in this moment? Centering your attention there. Noticing when the mind gets carried away. And in those moments, notice what actually took you away. And then let that go. And gently shepherd your attention back to the breath and to the body lying here. Keeping in mind that it is the nature of the mind to wander, and it is the nature of the mind to think. So it's bound to happen a lot, and it's not a sign that you are doing anything wrong. Bringing your attention now to your breath, and as you breathe in, feel the sensation of the breath traveling down the left side of your body and into your left toes. Really tuning into those toes. Perhaps distinguishing each toe from all the others. Noticing the sensation of contact between the left toes and any characteristics. Maybe there's a sense of warmth or coolness. Maybe there's a tingling sensation, prickling sensation. Maybe there's numbness. Maybe there's no sensation at all. Just experiencing the sensations as they are, the actual sensations themselves aren't important. Be aware if you're experiencing the sensations in your body, as always, as pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Be aware if you're having any emotional reactions, whether it's sadness, boredom, impatience, judging. All this held in awareness without having to do anything at all. Now, take a deeper inhalation into those left toes, cradling your attention there for a moment. And then on the out breath, as the breath empties, dissolve your attention from the toes and bring your awareness now to the sensations in the rest of your foot. The bottom of the foot, the sides of the foot, the top of the foot. Noticing what's here to be felt. Bringing the mind back to this region if we notice it is carried away by the thought stream. And then breathing into your left foot. And as you breathe out, bring your awareness to the lower left leg, the ankle, the shin, and the calf. Noticing any sensations perhaps where the clothes are touching your skin or the air is touching your skin. So notice any sensations on the surface of your lower left leg. And then see if you can bring your awareness deeper in to the lower left leg, into the bones themselves. Allowing whatever is here to be as it already is. Accepting the feelings you're feeling here. And then breathing into that lower left leg and breathing out into the upper left leg. That would include the knee, the front of the thigh, the back of the thigh, the inner left groin, and the outer left hip. Noticing the sensations arising into your awareness here. What are the characteristics of these sensations? Getting to know the sensations in your body. And then breathing in. And as you breathe out, let your attention shift and move into the right toes. Tuning into the sensations in the right toe. What are the characteristics of the sensations in your right toe? Breathing into your right toes, and then as you breathe out, dissolve your attention and shift it into the right foot, the upper foot, the sides, inner and outer of the foot, and the sole of the foot. Perhaps feeling the heel in contact with the surface you're sitting or lying. Breathing into the right foot. Then as you exhale, shift your attention into the ankle, shin, and calf, the lower right leg. What are you noticing here? Noticing the nuances of sensation. And then breathing into the lower right leg, and as you breathe out, shifting your attention into the right knee, right thigh, back of the thigh, the hamstring, the inner right groin, the outer left hip. As your attention rests here, what sensations are you noticing? Heaviness, warmth, pressure. Maybe no sensation. Just simply present to what is here in this moment. And then breathing into your upper right leg and hip. And as you exhale now, shifting your attention to the pelvic floor, the buttocks, the pelvis. As you center your attention here, perhaps becoming aware of the breath, the movement of the breath. And on your next out breath, just notice that whole area softening and releasing as we move our attention now into the area of the lower back. And so for many of us, this area is prone to fatigue and stress and strain. So as you bring your attention to this area of the body, seeing if you can bring your awareness of the breath into this area as well. And as you breathe in and out, letting the breath penetrate the whole region of your lower back. Simply allowing the sensations to be as they are. And allow any intensity of sensation to be included in your experience of this area. And then breathing in to the area of the low back. And as you breathe out, and as you shift your attention, invite any tension to flow out with the out breath. As your attention moves into the region of the belly and the sides of the lower torso, right up to the bottom of the rib cage, feeling the belly rise and fall with the breath. In touch with the sensations and perhaps recognizing any emotions that might be arising and passing away here. And then allowing yourself to take a slow, deep, intentional breath in. Feel the area fill to the entirety of the abdomen. And then let the breath flow out as we move our attention into the area of the chest, collarbones, upper back, and shoulder blades. Recognizing any feeling of contraction or tension in this area of the body. And any emotions that may be arising and passing as we linger here with our attention. And when you are ready, take another long, slow, more intentional breath in, feeling the rib cage expand in the front, sides, and back of the chest. Hold for a moment. And then let the breath release, traveling your awareness down into the fingertips of both hands. Awareness in the hand, lower arm, elbows, upper arm, shoulders. Feeling both arms as we lie here. Breathing into both arms. And then moving our awareness into the region of the neck and the throat. Another region where stress and tension can accumulate. Being aware of any sensations of tension, just being with the experience as it is. And then breathing into this area. And as you breathe out, shift your attention into the area of the head, the back of the head, resting back on the surface that's supporting you. And then bring your attention to the area of the chin. Awareness of the inside of the mouth. Perhaps the jaw relaxing, teeth slightly parting. And then shifting your awareness to the area of the cheeks. Awareness of the nose and the soft touch of the breath as it travels into the nostril. Back out again. Tuning in to the softest, subtle touch of your breath. Shifting your awareness to the eyes, feeling the eyes, the eyeballs just resting back into the socket. And allowing the sockets to rest back into the skull. Feeling the back of the skull resting back into the surface you're lying on. Shifting your awareness to the ears and allowing any sounds to travel to the ears. Letting the sounds come to you. Bringing your awareness to the temples, the forehead, top of the head. Recognizing any thoughts or emotions in the passing through into the whole area of the face and head. Just like clouds passing through the mind, the sky of mind. And then breathing into the whole area of the face and the head. And as you breathe out, letting go of this region as well. Letting your awareness dissolve into neutral, into stillness, into natural peacefulness. As the mind lets go, as the breath lets go, as we come to rest in that wider space of awareness. And then bring your attention back now into the awareness of the whole body lying here. Bring your awareness now back into your toes. into your legs, to your torso, arms, neck, and head. Complete as we are, whole as we are, open to things as they are. This openness to awareness that can be profoundly healing. And as this practice comes to its natural conclusion, take the time to honor yourself for taking this Saturday morning to nurture yourself in this way. Forming an intention and resolve to keep practicing regularly in the days, weeks, and months to come, even when that resistance arises. To befriend yourself in this way over and over again, and let your deep inner resources nourish your life. As the tendencies of the habitual and driven doing are recognized and healed by the domain of being. And then very slowly, very gently begin to wiggle your toes. And then perhaps wiggle your fingers. Slowly moving the head from side to side. Begin to stretch your arms, your legs, your torso as you slowly transition your way to a break. We're going to break now. So find a stable and comfortable position and sit in a way that feels as if you're honoring yourself and your practice. You have the choice of letting your eyes stay open, or you can gently let them close. Just as we've done with the body scan and with the yoga practices, use your out breath to just let go of any physical or emotional tension that you might be holding on to. And once you feel more settled, see if you can bring your attention to the present moment and notice what you're feeling in your heart. See if you can direct your breathing in and out from the place of your heart. So let's begin with something called the inner smile. So just try this. Try lifting the corner of your lips. Just see if you can also allow your face to soften. And then see if you could lift the corner of your eyes. And then just see if you could imagine lifting the corners of your heart as well. And this is the concept of the inner smile. See if you can just rest in a sense of ease that this inner smile can create. And if any thoughts come into your awareness, just gently let them go. And use your breath as an anchor to bring your attention back to your heart. Breathing in and out from your heart. And let's begin with a few moments of sensing the good within you and your sincere wish to be happy. Try repeating the following phrases with a gentle pacing. There's no need to rush through them or to say them harshly. You are simply offering yourself a gift with each of the following phrases. And if your attention wanders, or if uncomfortable feelings or memories arise, try to gently let them go in the spirit of kindness to yourself. May I be safe. May I be well. May I be happy. May I live with ease. May I be safe. May I be well. May I be happy. May I live with ease. And staying with your breath, breathing into your heart, your smiling heart, and then on the out breath, see if you can send those loving kindness phrases or wishes to every part of your being. May I be safe. May I be well. May I be happy. May I live with ease. Now, if you care to, bring your mind to someone for whom you feel strong respect or gratitude. Perhaps visualizing them sitting or standing in front of you. See if you can recall the different ways that they have helped you or contributed to your well-being. And sense the goodness within them. Simply contemplate this person or being and their goodness and their wish to be happy. And in your mind, you can say to this person, may you be safe. May you be well. May you be happy. May you live with ease. May you be safe. May you be well. May you be happy. And may you live with ease. And then staying with your breath, fill your smiling heart with loving kindness on the in-breath, and on the out-breath, you could send these loving wishes to every part of this person's being. May you be safe. May you be well. May you be happy. May you live with ease. And now, if you care to, let these feelings of loving kindness spread from your heart to all beings, to all of life, saying to yourself, just as I wish to be safe, may all beings be safe. Just as I wish to be well, may all beings be well. Just as I wish to be happy, may all beings be happy. Just as I wish to live with ease, may all beings live with ease. Just as I wish to be safe, may all beings be safe. Just as I wish to be well, may all beings be well. Just as I wish to be happy, may all beings be happy. Just as I wish to live with ease, may all beings live with ease. And breathing into your smiling heart on that in-breath, send that loving kindness to all beings everywhere on the out-breath, feeling loving kindness as it spreads to all beings and to all of life. Just as I wish to be safe, may all beings be safe. Just as I wish to be well, may all beings be well. Just as I wish to be happy, may all beings be happy. Just as I wish to live with ease, may all beings live with ease. And before you open your eyes, if your eyes were closed, you might just like to rest your hands where you feel like your smiling heart is. And just acknowledge that you've been in metta, in a loving kindness meditation. Acknowledging that experience of being with loving kindness. And when you feel ready, if your eyes were closed, you can gently open them. So we're going to move now, literally. Here in Eastern Ontario, it's a sunny, breezy spring day. And you have the option, you always have the option, to go outside for what we call a mindful wander, which is different from a walking meditation. So in a mindful wander, you can just simply open all your sense doors to what's arising around you and simply move where you're drawn. And so I encourage you, as you wander, to pay attention to what you don't normally pay attention to. So you could begin, if you choose to go outside, by, as you step outside, to stop and take those 3 breaths, those 3 intentional breaths. And then almost like a radar, just let yourself kind of explore and just tune into where you're drawn to next. And then let yourself wander to wherever you feel pulled. At some point in your wander, stop, take another few breaths, and tune into the stillness between all the activity that's going on around you. That might mean looking closely at the leaves of a tree or exploring the textures of its bark, noticing the colors of the flowers and any insects or pollinators on or around them. It might be just simply breathing in the air. It might be listening to birdsong or simply observing the sky. If you're close to the water, you may want to spend some time listening to the sounds of the water. Notice as you're doing this any tendency to judge your experience. If judging arises, simply notice these natural tendencies to judge with an open curiosity. Make a conscious choice about going outside or staying in. And if you choose to go outside for a mindful wander, depending on where you live, you may want to wear sun and bug protection. Observe if your judgments lessen as we learn patience, as we learn appreciation, and as we work with the cycles of nature rather than resisting them. So the time right now is 10:47. We're going to go outdoors, if you're choosing to do that, for a wander until 10 after 11. So 10 minutes after 11, please make sure you're back here for your next practice. Okay, so we'll see you. Enjoy your mindful wander if you're choosing to do it. It's fine to stay inside if that's your choice. We'll see you back here at 10 after 11. So welcome back, everybody. I asked you to have on hand a favorite beverage and a snack. So if you were making a hot drink, you may want to get kettle going now. So just and I'll just share with you that as I brought my hot drink down, I just spilt it all over the floor and a little bit on me. And so it was just an opportunity to have a mindful moment. And so just to share with you, I went back up and got a new cup of tea and all is well. So before we have a little mindful eating and drinking experience, I'd like to share this poem with you. This poem was also a poem that just helped to support my mindfulness practice and just shift my beingness into a more mindful place. And this is a beautiful poem called Love After Love. And it's all about, at some point in our lives, we come back to ourselves and once again begin a love affair with ourselves. It's called Love After Love. The time will come. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself at your own door, in your own mirror. And each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. And so let's do a little feasting with our snack, shall we? So you can grab your favorite beverage, your favorite snack, and remember that was the first practice we actually did. And it was the first formal practice was to actually take that raisin or that cranberry or that carrot or whatever it was and to pay attention to it in ways that you don't normally pay attention to something you do every day, which is eat and drink many times. So in this half-day retreat, let's spend a moment. Let's take that moment to be aware of your snack and your drink. And you may want to pick up the container of the drink in your hand. And you may want to notice the container itself, feeling the temperature. Might be a cold drink, might be a hot drink. Noticing the shapes, colors, textures of your drink and the container it's in. And then similarly, you could put your drink down. And if you have a snack, you might want to pick it up. And again, notice your snack. Notice the shape, the texture, the colors. Maybe take in the aroma for your snack. Take in the aroma of your drink. And then either one, just whatever you feel moved to do. If it's the drink, you can slowly bring the drink to your lips. If it's the snack, you can slowly bring the snack to your lips. But as you're doing this, again, observe the textures, the tastes. Savor each swallow. Doing the same thing with your snack. And see if you can be fully present to your experience of eating and drinking. And our next formal practice will begin at 25 after 11. So with camera on or off, you can just simply now just fully savor this snack, feasting on your own life. Okay. We're going to come into another new meditation that is new to those of you who are new to the mindfulness-based stress reduction program. This is a meditation that is a slightly different experience. It's not the more open awareness of thoughts, body sensations, emotions. This practice is more an embodied sense using visual imagery. So you can just open to this new experience. It's called, without judging, just see how it lands for you. So this is called the mountain meditation. Now, when we are trained to teach mindfulness, this meditation is taught to us, to teach to you. And this one, we were encouraged in our training to stick pretty close to the script that John Kabat-Zinn provided. And he, of course, is the one who developed this whole curriculum that you're experiencing and wrote the book Full Catastrophe Living, which is also sort of a more detailed description of this program that you're in. And so this is so I stick pretty close to script with this one. So the mountain meditation. So the first thing you will want to do is to find a position where it's helpful for you to sit with a real sense of a stable base. So what I mean by that, if it's helpful to sit on a floor, do that, or on a chair. But what you want to feel is the bottom half of your body connecting to the ground to create a sense of a stable base. So wherever you are, just really settle in. Allow your spine to be upright, but not stiff. And see if you can find your head balanced on your neck and shoulders. See if you can invite your shoulders to, maybe you could shrug them up towards your ears, and then just invite them to drop and to relax. And you may want to place your hands on your knees. When you feel ready, you are fine to keep your eyes closed, or you can let your eyes Keep your eyes open, or you can let your eyes gently close. And bring your attention to the flow of your breathing. Feeling each in-breath and each out-breath. Just observing your breathing without trying to change it or regulate it in any way. Allowing the body to be still. And sitting with a sense of dignity, a sense of resolve, a sense of being complete, whole, in this very moment, with your posture reflecting this sense of wholeness. And as you sit here, picturing in your mind's eye, as best you can, the most beautiful mountain that you know or have seen or can imagine. Just holding the image and feeling of this mountain in your mind's eye, letting it gradually come into greater focus. Observing this mountain, its overall shape, its lofty peak high in the sky, the large base rooted in the rock of the Earth's crust, its steep or gently sloping sides. Noticing how massive it is, how solid, how unmoving, how beautiful from both afar and up close. Perhaps the mountain, your mountain, has snow on the top and maybe trees on the lower slopes. Perhaps it has one prominent peak, or perhaps a series of peaks, or a high plateau. Whatever its shape or appearance, just sitting and breathing with the image of this mountain. Observing it, noticing its qualities, and when you feel ready, seeing if you can bring the mountain into your own body, so that the body sitting here and the mountain in your mind's eye become one. So that as you sit here, you share in the massiveness and the stillness and the majesty of the mountain. You become the mountain rooted in the sitting posture. Your head becomes the lofty peak, supported by the rest of your body. Your shoulders and arms, the sides of the mountain. Your buttocks and legs, the solid base rooted in your chair or floor. Experiencing in your body a sense of uplift from deep within your pelvis and spine. With each breath, as you continue sitting, becoming a little more a breathing mountain. Unwavering in your stillness. completely what you are, beyond words and thought, a centered, rooted, unmoving presence. Now, as you sit here, becoming aware of the sun as it travels across the sky, the light and shadows and colors changing virtually moment by moment in the granite stillness. Night follows day and day follows night. A canopy of stars, the moon, then the sun. Through it all, the mountain just sits, experiencing change in each moment, constantly changing, yet always just being itself. It remains still as the seasons flow into one another, and as the weather changes moment by moment and day by day. Calmness, abiding all change. In the spring, there is mist and rain, and everything is lush and green on the lower slopes of the mountain. In summer, there's no snow on the mountain, except perhaps for the very peaks. In fall, the mountain may wear a coat of brilliant fire colors. In winter, a blanket of snow and ice. In any season, it may find itself at times enshrouded in clouds or fog or pelted by freezing rain. People may come to see the mountain and comment on how beautiful it is, or how it's not a good day to see the mountain. None of this matters to the mountain, which remains at all times its essential self. Clouds may come, and clouds may go. The mountain's magnificence and beauty are not changed one bit by the way people see it, or not, or by the weather. Seen or unseen, in sun or clouds, broiling or frigid, day or night, it just sits, being itself. At times visited by violent storms, buffeted by snow and rain and winds of unthinkable magnitude. Through it all, the mountain continues to sit, unmoved by the weather, by what happens on the surface, by the world of appearances. And in the same way as we sit in meditation, we can learn to experience the mountain. We can embody the same unwavering stillness and rootedness in the face of everything that changes in our own lives, over seconds, over hours, over years. In our lives and in our meditation practice, we constantly experience the changing nature of mind and body and the outer world. We have our own periods of light and darkness, our moments of color and our moments of drabness. Certainly, we experience storms of varying intensity and violence in the outer world and in our own minds and bodies. We endure periods of darkness and pain, as well as the moments of joy. Even our appearance changes constantly, experiencing a weather of its own. By becoming the mountain in our meditation practice, we can link up with its strength and stability and adopt it for our own. We can use its energies to support our energy, to encounter each moment with mindfulness and equanimity and clarity. It may help us to see that our thoughts and feelings, our preoccupations, our emotional storms and crises, even the things that happen to us, are very much like the weather on the mountain. We tend to take it all personally, but its strongest characteristic is impersonal. The weather of our own lives is not to be ignored or denied. It is to be encountered, honored, felt, known for what it is, and held in awareness. And in holding it in this way, we come to know a deeper silence and stillness and wisdom. Mountains have this to teach us, and much more, if we can come to listen. So if you find that you resonate in some way with the strength and stability of the mountain as you sit, the mountain meditation may be helpful to remind you of what it does mean to sit mindfully in resolve and stillness. So in the time that remains, continue to sit like a mountain until I tell you that the meditation is complete. When you feel ready, if your eyes were closed, you can open them.